Around how you got to be in that group and what your purpose was.
Well, this was 49 the first year. I'd come back from Europe in 48. In 49 I went to California and I wanted something besides cutting grapes. So I hired on up there in the mountains for civil service work, government work, trail maintenance. And we went back in the mountains. I told you about the snakes already that we came upon while we was.
Yeah, you were horseback, you said. You
Yeah,
were going up doing trail work up in the Sequoia National Park?
We were beyond the Sequoia National. We was almost at the Nevada line.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we seen this big bunch of snakes. I saw them first. Big bunch of rattlesnakes.
You said your horse got skittish or something before you saw him.
He got real skittish and kind of shying around a little bit. And then I seen them.
Mm-hmm.
But they wasn't paying no attention to me at all, none whatsoever, or the horse.
You said they were mating there on that rock, a big bunch of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they.
Makes me shiver just thinking about it.
I called the foreman. He came up and he said, "Don't worry about them." Said you can walk right beside them. They never bother you. I said, "No." Right. Anyway, we went ahead on and set up camp that night. And the foreman, I'd already gone to bed or laid down. We slept on the ground back then, and I laid down and I went out like a light. And but before just a little bit, a minute or two before I went to sleep, the cook came over, and he had a big old slab of bacon about that long, so wide. And he said, "George," says, "you're in charge of the bacon." I looked at him. "In charge? Why do you need somebody in charge of the bacon?" He said, "Well," says, you spent time over in Europe. You've been around. Says you got to kind of protect it from the bears and this and that." And I said, "Oh yeah. I hadn't even thought of anything about bears at that point in time." And I went ahead and he said, laid it right alongside me, underneath my tarp.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out. Next morning I woke up, and the cook, he had a fire going already. And he said, "George, get up, bring me the bacon over here." Okay. Started feeling no bacon. Turned the covers back, no bacon. And then when we stomped around there that night, getting the camp made up and everything, it's dusty. Big old huge grizzly paws right in that dust. And little bitty baby ones up beside it. I called the foreman over and he said, "George," says, "you're lucky to be alive." He said, "That's a big mama grizzly in her cub." So she got that for her cub to eat.
Man, you must really sleep hard. I mean, you let a grizzly bear eat bacon off of you just about. You let us rattlesnakes sleep in the same bed.
Well,
I can barely even go to sleep at night.
I know somebody's watching over me. I'm sure of that. No doubt. Anyway, we moved that camp that next morning to the main. There's 30 miles between campsites, and we worked 15 this way and 15 that way, and then we would get them all cleared and cleaned up, and then we'd move another 30. But this one particular time, the foreman told me, he says they didn't have enough pack animals to haul everything, to the next campsite. He said, "George, you stay here." He had already called through the walkie-talkie thing or whatever it was for more supplies. He said, "You stay here in this cabin." There's an old sheepherder's cabin there. He said, "You stay here in that tonight." And he said, the other wrangler will be in the morning, probably before dinner, with the rest of those supplies, and you bring them on up to the next campsite. I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Boy, they took off. That was in the morning. And I fooled around there a little bit and went in the cabin, made me a little pallet, and went to sleep. I had no problem sleeping back in them days. And
Apparently not.
anyway, way in the night, I could hear like that, you know, like grunting. And I knew it was a bear because I heard him before. I thought to myself, God, dog. And that door was thick, solid wood, about probably a good 2 inches thick. The door to the old log cabin. And I thought to myself, boy, if that thing gets in here, I've had it. And after a little bit, I went back off to sleep. The next morning, I woke up early that next morning, opened that door and peeked all around. And I could smell what had been there, though. The odor was lingering. And I turned around to go back in to get the stuff, and I saw them claw marks. They're like that.
All down the door?
Yeah, that big grizzly had tried to get in, it pushed and pulled out. Let me tell you one other story. I
Go
can
right
jump
ahead.
from story to story. This happened right here. I was about to forget that one. And it's a real one. I mean, real. Larry used to sleep in this back room back here.
Mm-hmm.
That was his room all the time that years he lived here. He one night we all went to bed, and of course our bedroom was right beside his, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hearing like he's having bad dreams or something. And after a while, they quit. I asked Lou, I said, what do you think we ought to check on him? She said, oh, he's probably having a bad dream. He's quieting down now. But we all went to sleep. Next morning, Larry was in our bedroom, shaking. Dave. Ooh. And I said, what? Ooh, like that. And then Lou woke up. She said, what are you trying to say, Larry? Mama, boo, boo, boo. Making that noise like that. And then he got me by the hand and led me and his mama into his bedroom there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we couldn't see nothing wrong in the bedroom. He pointing at the window.
Mm-hmm.
And that window's from the ground up the top of it's about 10 foot.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Lou, I said, wonder what it is. And then Larry, he got me by the hand and his mama brought around through the front door around the side of the house. And I had just put this thick, clear plastic over it to help keep the heat out and
Mosquitoes.
stuff like that. I had just put that on a couple of days before that. At the top of it is just like a huge hand, two of them on either side. Start up there and all the way down, just like you take scissors and cut it out.
Dang.
It just hanging there. You could see each looked like it might have done it 8 or 10 times. And it shredded it.
Were there paw prints or anything on the ground?
I could see where looked like some of Mama's flowers. She had flowers all in there.
Uh-huh.
Looked like some of them had been bashed down a little bit. But they ain't no human could reach up that high.
Maybe it was Bigfoot.
I don't know. But I know one thing. After that, Lou and I and Larry, we were much more. And that's not all. I was telling you about the rapping spirits.
Uh-huh.
Well, this doesn't pertain to the rapping spirits. It's a different type.
Uh-huh.
Lou and I would, every night, just about nearly every night, we'd go to bed. And most of the time, we'd hear it just a little bit before we go to sleep. Somebody knock 3 times, always 3 times on the front door. 3 times they'd knock. First time they did it, I'd have my pajamas on. I jumped up and ran there to see who it was. Opened the door, and there's nobody. I went back in the bedroom. Lou said, who is it? And I said, there ain't nobody out there. She said, somebody knocked. I said, I know, I heard it. So we went on bed and thinking more about it. Very next night, the same thing again. Only this time it was in the kitchen.
Knocking the 3 times?
knocking 3 times right there in the kitchen on the by the window, kitchen
Uh-huh.
window. And I thought, good gosh almighty, what's going on? So we didn't think no more about it. The next night, we heard it back there, right beside our room. We got a window there right beside our bed. It was just like we could reach out and touch it. Like that. And boy,
So how old is this house?
built in it 31 or 32.
Hmm.
But that went on. It went all the way around the house. It'd get to the front door and stop. It'd make that noise there for sometime 2 or 3 weeks or a month. And then finally it just quit. Well, I tell you what made it quit. It got so bad inside the house over there, we could hear people talking, honestly, in a low tone of voice, but they would sure be talking like a man and a woman. Sometimes we'd hear a kid, and Lou would say, "You hear that, Joe? You hear that?" "Yes, I hear that." And I told her, I said, I'm going to take care of this come Sunday. And I talked to the bishop, and he and I and 2 more of the high priests came out, and we blessed the house and the property. And I told him, I said, as far as my good spirits, if there's any around, they're welcome. But the evil ones make them depart. And he did, and they were gone. It never happened again.
Wow.
Yep.
You just never know, do you?
No,
Give you
sure
chills.
don't.
Huh? Give you chills.
Yeah, believe me. Oh, there's other stories I could tell too, but
Yeah.
we'd be sitting here this time tomorrow if they're all told.